Democrats accusing House Intelligence Committee Chairman Devin Nunes of getting in the way of the Russia investigation. But a Wall Street Journal editorial piece says Nunes has seen dozens of documents with information on Trump officials. And the information in those files was not related to Russia. The reports masked identities, but made it obvious which Trump officials were being discussed. At least one Trump official besides Michael Flynn was unmasked. These documents were circulated at the highest levels of government. And the bottom line is that President Obama's team was spying on the incoming administration. Mike Pregent is a former intelligence officer. Mike, this is so much for all of us to take in, and we continue to get new details by the hour, it seems. What do you make of the latest revelations on this?
Well, there was all this surveillance of the Trump thing, and thanks for having me, Sandra. What we learned, what the Washington Post and the New York Times learned on December 29th, was that General Michael Flynn, the incoming national security advisor, had a conversation with the Russian ambassador. And that information was leaked, and that information is what we call raw intelligence. It's the highest classified level of signals intelligence intercept. And what it contains is the cell phone number, and the geolocation of that phone call, both Mike Flynn's cell phone and location and the ambassador's location. And that is not supposed to be leaked to the press. I mean, as a former intelligence officer, I would go to jail for doing something like that. So that sparked this whole thing about we need to get to the bottom of where these leaks are. Now we learn that there were other officials that were reverse targeted. And what that means is you don't have to have a FISA order in place. You simply go after the foreign entities that are already under legitimate FISA orders, and you target them, and what you're really looking for is anytime they talk to a Trump team member. And then those names are unmasked, and they're made widely available to individuals in the intelligence community, and in some cases leaked.
So according to our latest Fox News reporting, our reporter Adam Housley has disclosed that Nunes knew about the existence of these intelligence documents back in January, well before the Trump tweet or meeting with the president. He spent weeks trying to find a way to see this, but he was stonewalled, and the only option was to go to the White House. The chairman had to figure out a way to actually view these documents, and this was the last option.
Well, this is what's important about these documents. You can't email them. You can't make a photocopy of them. You can't take notes on them. What happens when a decision maker or somebody who's cleared, has a clearance, asks to see raw intelligence, somebody from the National Security Agency or somebody cleared physically walks that information over to that decision maker, shows them the information, he or she. They look at it. They can't take notes. They can't photocopy it. They can't do anything to email it to anybody. So it's a hard copy. Then it's put back in a briefcase, taken back to the safe, and locked away in a SCIF. So when Nunes went to the National Security Council to look at this document, and intelligence officers with top secret clearances showed it to him in a SCIF, that was done right. The biggest problem is the intelligence community didn't share that with the head of the House Senate Committee, or the House Intelligence Committee.
What did you make of the references to Dr. Evelyn Farkas? There was a couple exchanges in the White House briefing room just then. She said back in an interview on another network early March, she told the Hill people to get as much information as you can before President Obama leaves the administration, because she fears that somehow it'll disappear. They made reference to that. Sean Spicer basically said that that was her on the record saying that Trump's team was spied on.
Well, more damning than that, in that news interview with Mika on Morning Joe, she said if the Trump team knew how we got the information, they would try to expose our tactics. She hinted that those tactics were illegal surveillance and collection of Trump team members using reverse targeting, meaning, again, going after legitimate foreign targets that are FISA cleared to reverse target Trump officials. So it's very important that she be subpoenaed and talked to, because she left the administration in 2015 to join the Hillary Clinton campaign, and now she's coordinating with Obama officials in the NSC and the IC post-election to discredit the Trump administration as they come into power. That's a problem.
What you heard from Sean Spicer just then, and you heard it over and over, and you just heard it from John Roberts, is that he continues to emphasize that the media is worrying more about the date and process than the substance here, that we should all be focusing on the leaks. That's what the American people should be concerned about.
Right.
And he continues to say that Nunes' visit to the White House was routine and proper. How much of this is just getting lost in the messaging from the White House? Are they being clear about what they know, what they have, and what they can reveal to the American public?
Well, this is highly classified, so you can't reveal it to the American public, and you can't email it to somebody. But what the American people should know is it's a felony to leak classified information to the press. It's a felony to unmask U.S. persons, and it's a felony to illegally target a political opponent. It's not illegal or a felony to allow the chairman of the House Intel Committee to come into and talk to somebody in the National Security Council. So one's a felony, one's a check on a visitation log to bring somebody in.
So he did say he's going to ensure that the documents from the NSC staff will be turned over to Intel communities. Obviously, we're going to have to see how these investigations continue to play out in the House and the Senate. A lot going on. Michael Pregent, thanks for sticking around and thanks for coming on with us.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.